Starting on 3, 2, 1.
Huzzah.
Nice. That works.
You know, in the movie industry, they use this thing called a clap wheel.
Isn't that what we're talking about today?
Yeah, I guess we are. Kinda.
Movies!
Movies.
Wait, that's your channel.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Will at DAGames, and
I'm Chris.
It's
I'm
Chris.
also a DA.
he also DAGames, and we've made a song recently called Can't Hold Me Back. If you haven't heard it yet, I'd suggest checking it out. If you're a fan of the Sonic series,
And the movie.
we love Sonic, and we decided to make a song based off the movie. So we get a lot of questions for our music, so we figured we might as well put out a Q&A on our Twitter with hashtag Can't Hold Me Back about your burning questions about the song.
I'm sure most of them are directed at him. But with any further ado.
Pressure.
Well, I think before we get into the questions, I think the important thing would be to give some of the people who aren't aware of the backstory on how we even came up with doing a Sonic song or a Sonic movie song. That was the first for the channel. We never did a song based technically on a movie.
Yeah, and like we obviously it's based off a video game franchise, but it's like the first steps into doing something movie based. It's like half steps.
It's like dipping your toes in the water, seeing if it works, and it's the best. I mean, it was the best way to see if it could work, because the Sonic movie at that point had already like completely changed its perspective. Like, people were actually excited for it.
People were absolutely
because
bombastic over this.
back in November, everyone was
That's
just like,
even worse.
oh, God, that redesign. But, you know, then all of a sudden, everyone was just like, oh my God, he looks so good. I can't wait for this movie. Jim Carrey's going to be great. And I'm sitting here going, I'm still going to see it even when he looks ugly.
By the way, we've seen the movie.
Twice. Well, twice for him, 3 for me.
It's still amazing even on the second viewing. So
Yeah.
definitely go check that movie out. Without further ado, we're gonna actually get through the burning questions. So the first one is from Lala in Hiding. Hi.
Oh, Laurie.
Hello.
Hi, Laurie.
Any lines or references in there that you guys were like, no, that has to go in. We'll make it work.
Well, if they say references, I'm assuming like references to the Sonic franchise.
Yeah, like overall.
There were a couple. What I remember, you might have a different perspective. Many times I would point out something you wrote, and I'd go, "Is that a reference to this?" And you'd say, "Well, I mean, it could be interpreted that way."
Yeah.
So I remember, like, you know, when in the first verse we wrote "in the blink of an eye," and I went, "Is that a reference to Vic's song?" And you kind of just looked at me like,
No, that wasn't it at all. But I'm like, but it could work.
Yeah, I thought it worked.
The Sonic community has like been delved into my head. We are massive Sonic nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the inspiration we got was from the commercial advertisement and also the series in general.
I think it's like
so.
the problem is it's part of the subconscious that you don't even think about it when you're
Exactly.
right. Like, because things like, you know, Beast Within could be interpreted like Sonic Unleashed when he's a werehog.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the weapons that talk can be interpreted as to like Sonic and the Black Knight.
So the short answer is a lot of it's accidental.
Very much so.
But if we were to get rid of it, there was sometimes where I was going to try and get rid of it, and you were like, no, that make it work. That's a good thing.
Well, there'd be times
But it
where
wasn't
you would
like a we
write
have
something.
to, because we were always open.
You would write something, I'd say, no, let's do it. Like, I remember it was originally We'll Kick Its Butt for sure.
Yeah,
I felt
and
that
you
is
were like-
very Sonic, like in character, but what about Tails? It just feels
Yeah.
a little more.
Yeah.
Just there's something about it, especially since, you know, Tails.
It definitely made a lot more sense to use that.
It did, yeah.
So that was that one. Django Liam with, did you know something about the plot before making the song, or was it an original idea for the lyrics?
I
Bit
think-
of a half and half. Because
I was
we
going to say,
got,
like, you probably knew about as much of the plot as I did.
Yeah,
'cause we didn't really look much into it outside
we had
of
a
the trailer.
general idea from the trailers.
Yeah.
We didn't know how it was going to be executed. Nobody did.
Nothing
until we
about the
actually saw
song
it.
is
Yeah.
like about the plot of the movie. It's really just I think you'll agree, it's more like a general essence of Sonic as a character.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, he's you know, the hero taking down the big bad.
Yeah.
That's really the whole mindset of the song is, you know, despite your size, you can take on big things, and they can't hold you back, if you
Right.
will.
That's the general consensus of how I write music in general. It's all very vague. It's all very like it's vague enough that it can mean its own thing, but it also translates well into something. But this doesn't work for every piece of music. Sometimes it
Not
can
every
go
song is
fall
literal,
under.
is
Yeah,
the
not
fact.
every song. We're not Taylor Swift.
All right, well, what's our next question?
So the next one, favorite detail. Like, what was the chorus? Was the chorus your favorite part, or even just what part was fun to make? The synth patterns, etc., etc. That would be more my thing, I think.
I suppose, but I mean, biasly, I like the bridge because I wrote the whole thing and you ended up really liking it, so
yeah,
that's definitely my favorite.
The bridge was always the most complicated part for me anyway. I
you
got
were,
to the
you were
chorus
struggling,
and
I was just like, I wrote something down and said, hey, maybe this will work, and you were just like,
yeah, because I think at part, because like I was looking at the lyrics, they didn't have any context of vocals at all on melody, so I just spoke it.
Yeah.
And then, well, I seemed to have worked on the first take, so I'm like, all right, actually, I don't even need to sing it. It can be like a emotional build-up.
Yeah.
So we used that, and that was great. My favorite detail was the solo. I'm sorry, but
Family Jewels solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and the Family Jewels and the synth is probably the coolest part of that song, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think the guiltily because of music experience, this is the first time I'd ever gone through like nearly the entire scale of chords. So like going up a scale when it slowly and gradually increased, making its way back to the beginning. I'd never done that before. I'd only done like one semitone per song, so this was a nice time to experiment. And as it got faster and faster and faster, guiltily, it was to see what Jules could do.
Given Sonic.
Yeah, what Jules could do. It's an Oscar-winning, composer. So I mean, you gotta trust the guy. He's an amazing friend of ours. Yeah, he's gone on to do like stuff with Nintendo stuff.
I don't think that's Oscar.
Nominated.
Oscars don't nominate for games. We're gonna text Jules right now and say, hey, so what awards do you have?
No.
When I first pitched the song idea to you in November, where I said I want to make a Sonic song with you, and you were just like, oh, that could be cool. What do you got? And you go, well, I have a title.
Yeah.
And I go, I can't hold me back. And you're like, oh, I'm getting vibes already. I want to get Family Jewels involved. I went, that would be awesome.
I, for the longest time, wanted to work with him.
It was the perfect opportunity.
Such a good friend of mine,
really.
and really, really wanted to see what he got. I like to give at least instrumentalists a lot of improv work, like creative freedom, I guess.
Right.
So I wanted to let him just run free with it, and I gave him my synth solo to work with, like because there'd be break points where he could implement his own thing. So I guess he listened to it over and over, and then did it. But he did such an amazing job complementing it.
Killed it as like best.
We couldn't have had a
really
better.
nailed the like Jun Sonoe guitar riff.
Sort of
I mean, I could
around
cheat
that
and just
time.
say the song as a whole is my favorite part.
The song as a whole is amazing, but
Yeah.
how long did it take to write the song?
You
pitched the
days,
yeah,
right? Because I pitched it to you in November, but we didn't actually start writing until January.
Yeah, once I got home from Christmas due with my family, I came because I think there was like an angry moment where I wasn't thinking of many ideas until I got into the shower
Well, I
after an
remember
angry
what I
spat.
did to help you was because when I pitched it to you, I said, in the fandom, I noticed everything's kind of poppy, or it's pre-existing songs in the franchise, but with lyrics added, which are great. But my problem was like there wasn't a whole lot of Crush 40-esque, big rock ballads.
There was nothing to represent it. Well, I'm sure there was, but it was deep.
I never saw
down.
any. That's the
I
thing.
couldn't see it.
But I was thinking, as I went to you, because I said, I think if anyone can get the Crush 40 inspiration, you could. And then I sent you one of their songs specifically. I gave you What I'm Made Of from Sonic Heroes.
Yeah.
And I saw you like listening to it going, yeah.
Well, I always liked that song. I just got
and then I
reminded
just
of it.
gave you the whole Driving Through Forever
You gave me the whole album, but also it wasn't even just Crush 40 that I went back to. I listened to bands like Judas Priest to get me into that. Specifically, there was their newer album Firepower, which was really cool for me. I used that to vent into the shower, listen to Crush 40 as well, and just after getting angry and just exhausting an idea in my head, I really wanted to get back home and make it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it literally.
I think we wrote the song, correct me, 2 days, 3 days?
In 2 days we wrote it.
Because I know we had a sit-down session.
It's not our quickest one, but we didn't need it to be.
And also because,
ironically,
in the history of DAGames, it was your first collaborative writing process. Because
Yeah.
you usually write alone.
I don't usually let others write with me, but this time was like the big branch up.
And I think it helped because I got this feeling that when we were writing together that you had some of your best ideas when you were bouncing with another person. Like, how about this?
That's just
How about
history.
this?
I work better with other people, so it's been fantastic.
There's that.
There's a second part to this
really?
question. Now that you've seen the movie, is there anything you'd change?
I don't think so.
No.
I think the song works, like, when we call it, like, again, you can interpret this differently than I, but when you call it a Sonic movie song, I don't see that literally.
Yeah.
Like, it's a song because the movie was coming out, we were both looking forward to it, and, you know, we were thinking Sonic.
Yeah.
So the song doesn't have to be a literal song
So,
about
yeah.
the movie to be relevant or to be good. So I wouldn't change a thing.
I've made music months before a game gets released, and we somehow managed to get it right. It's the idea of vague lyrical representation. It doesn't give too much away, while being maybe a little on the edge, just
Right.
a little bit on the edge, but not pushing it too much. So that the whole song can be listenable as a whole. We do it also because people really want to hear what we've got. So if we asked the whole populace, would you want a song
What
earlier
would it
or
be
later?
like to write
Chances
an-
are it would be earlier.
What would it be like to write an incredibly literal song? Like, would that just be the worst song in the world?
An incredibly literal song.
An
I
incredibly
reckon it would lose a lot of flair because it's too on the nose.
Like imagine a bendy song.
others could do
that's
it.
just the story in order and very descriptive.
I think that would be like if Matt Pat decided to make a song.
Next question.
How many references to the original game are there? The original game?
If they mean the first game,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any like literal reference. Again, any reference to the game franchise is purely coincidental, but we can be pretentious and say, oh no, we planned this the whole time.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, that's up to you. If you think there's something in the song that represents an element from one of the games, then yeah, in your own way, you are correct, because we were only thinking sonically.
Yeah.
So if it's in there, it's by pure coincidence.
Exactly. What was your mindset when writing the song? For instance, were you going for something specific or something that just generally fits with Sonic as well as being able to be applied to other things?
Well, again, like
I'd
when
say
I
the
pitched
latter.
it to you, I say, like I just said, I want something Crush 40, and you came out going, well, Crush 40, Judas Priest. And
Yeah, I'd say the
all that.
latter because, while it generally fits Sonic, but it can also be taken out of Sonic because we don't say like Robotnik.
That to me is the key to making good, as you call it, nerdcore music, is not to have literal references in them. Like don't say Sonic, don't say Robotnik, don't say Tails, but have like little breadcrumbs in there. So
That was our time to be
Yeah.
super creative.
like it reminds me of like Jonathan Colton about how he'll write a song and it can be like he has this song called Blue Sunny Day,
Yeah.
which can be interpreted as, oh, it's a guy with severe depression, but it's actually just about a vampire. So like that's the clever
Yeah,
aspect
exactly.
of the lyrics, is that it can be interpreted as this, but it's really about this.
Yeah.
So like
To
Can't
hear
Hold Me Back
themselves.
could be about like someone could be listening to it, it's like, oh, it's like personal to them because it's like I can't be held.
I feel restrained.
Yeah, I
but no,
feel
stand
restricted,
up.
but I can stand by it. But we
That's-
can go, well,
that's-
actually, it's about a blue
That's what they
hedgehog.
did with the album Flash Drive.
Yeah.
They had their own interpretations, albeit not the greatest mindsets, especially since like I represented blue as like soaring and adventurous.
Right.
They took it as like a rebelling against the system. I'm like, wait, when was I rebelling?
I don't
It makes no
associate
sense.
blue with rebellion.
Like there's some bogus mindsets, but it's
Maybe
a mindset
red. If I was
regardless.
to associate any color with rebellion, maybe red.
Yeah, well, it's anger for sure. Yeah. The next one, approaching the breakdown, was the synth playing Green Hill Zone's opening. No.
Now, I don't know. We don't have,
It's that.
I was gonna say, it harkens back to the original. If there's any reference, it's purely by accident.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any Green Hill Zone in that.
I didn't hear it either.
So-
I think what they're getting is like the beginning, like the beginning.
Yeah, I
rise,
get that.
And
I don't hear it in there. It's the thing. I really don't.
If you heard that, awesome.
Cool.
But that's not what we thought. Who did the most writing?
I'd say you.
I'd say
Like you did 60, I did 30.
Yeah.
And really, like both.
Wait,
like
that
the
math doesn't add up. Who did the 10? Oh, Jules maybe.
Jules did.
Yeah. Ah, yeah.
But
okay.
because I mean, if they mean lyrically, then yeah, you did 60, I did 40. But as far as like the song as a whole, 60, 30, 10 to Jules. But the only thing I can take full credit for is the bridge, but everything else was usually he would write something. I would usually like it and just add like what if we did it this way? Like when we did, the original was Faith on the Other Side, and then
Yeah.
we did it again. I said, why don't we change Faith to Hope just to make it slightly different?
Yeah.
Like Hope on the Other Side just does something, ended up liking that. And again, like the changing butt to tail
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So most of my writing was, he would come up with something really good, and I would just come and say, like I would punch it up a little.
The
and make a
leverage,
suggestion.
the leverage we had is we had a much more time ahead before the movie came out,
Oh,
so we
definitely.
could explore a lot more. Whereas there's some games that just come out almost
Well,
instantly.
because again,
and
like
it's
a pitch
oh,
was due in
shit.
November, so we had plenty of time from like pitch to production.
Yeah.
The only thing that took like a lot out of us was the video, but writing and producing the song took like the least amount of time. The writing was only a couple days, and I think producing the song only took like a week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Were you hoping that this made it into the Sonic movie?
no, of course not. We didn't make it to be made.
Sounds like it would
song
fit
for the movie.
in well with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Are you hoping it can make it in the sequel if possible?
That's not happening.
It's not happening. Well,
I mean,
I don't know. It could.
if they came to us and said, could we, put it in the second movie, sure. I mean, we wouldn't object to it. I don't
No,
think.
of course.
I mean,
But we don't have any plans.
if they did
and
like it,
neither
they
do
used
we
to
have
do this.
hindsight.
They used to do this thing back in the day where like albums for like soundtracks for films would have music from and inspired by
Yeah.
the motion picture. Like the South Park movie has, because it has like tracks from the song, but it also has tracks that other artists made inspired by South Park.
I think that generally the idea of it being put into a movie wasn't what we went forward with. We only started thinking at the moment people started shoving it down our throats.
Well,
it's
we get a
more
lot
so-
of
yeah.
comments like that.
This should
on
be in the movie,
video
this should be
of,
in the
like,
movie.
This should be in the movie, or
Oh, well,
will
we're
this
flattered.
be in the movie? And it's like, do you actually understand how that works?
Well, we're flattered. We're
Yeah, of
absolutely
course.
sure we're flattered, but it's much more complicated than that. Did you expect the results you had now?
I mean, we're at what, 125K?
Yeah.
Something like that. That's about as much as I expected. I didn't expect it to be like, Bendy and the Ink Machine
I
big.
expect,
but
you know what? My cynical mind expected it to be worse because January, February time, and DAGames hadn't been doing well as a whole, so I looked at Diva Song as a representation,
Right.
and I was like, this isn't gonna, we're falling, we're
Well,
not gonna
because
do
the
well
argument
or
against it
anything
is
like that.
obviously Sonic was far more relevant than Overwatch at that point, and at least over on my channel, I'm used to things having like views that come later. So when I see a video that's getting like 10,000 views a day, I'm just like, that's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially given the fact that it's a song based on a movie based on a game, and it's a franchise we, at least on the DAGames channel, have never touched upon. Like we've never played a Sonic game, we've never even talked about Sonic games.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's a Sonic song.
Yeah.
So it comes, for a song that comes so out of left field,
Yeah.
to do that kind of numbers, I think pretty good. Like that's
Yeah.
about as good as I expected. Better would have been like, I don't know, maybe 500,000 in a week, but that's ludicrous.
That's Boris level.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it did pretty well given the circumstances.
Yeah. You guys planning on working together on more songs in the future? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I loved working on this one. And there are several other things we can't talk about yet, but there's other things that we are thinking about working on throughout these next coming months, so I'd be excited about that.
All that matters is that you all listen to them.
Exactly. Did you encounter any issues while making the song?
While making the song, I don't think so.
No, it was kind of smooth, except for when I got to the bridge.
The
lyric video.
That's true. Like
Yeah.
you had issue with the bridge, but I built it for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
yeah.
brought the supplies.
Yeah, that was
But,
like the one issue, but the lyric video.
The
I
lyric
feel,
video was because
very
so many
crunch
different-
time.
Unfortunately, like we're trying to fix that in the future, but otherwise, like not, and so people don't misunderstand. Nothing bad between the members. They're all great.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, we were cutting it real close getting that video done on time because we had to have it out on the 8th, and I think we had it done the morning of the 8th, so
Yeah.
we were quite literally like 6 days to air kind of thing.
That's it.
So
Oh, it was-
we cut it real
It was
close.
crunch time. A lot of us stayed up super late.
Oh yeah,
and
I was up the whole night.
Yeah.
I was the one. I had to, because obviously it got uploaded by Christian who edited
Yeah.
the lyric video. But once it was up, I had to put it on.
Was
the
I
information.
awake during the
I
time
don't
of
think
its
you were.
actual
No, I
release?
think you went to sleep after.
Yeah.
because I
I
had to
woke
stay
up realizing the song was out.
and I had to write all the information. I had to put in the thumbnail. I had to monetize it. Like I had to do all the other stuff.
You know, if that's an
while
interesting
you were
fact,
asleep.
this is one of the first songs where I was asleep during its release.
Yeah.
And yet,
Well,
ironically,
to be fair, as soon as I did all that, I went to bed, so I missed its premiere. So
Yeah, that's it.
if this thing had an actual premiere, we'd be dead asleep.
Yeah, we wouldn't make it to our own premiere.
Exactly.
Let's see. It's more about, speaking of the lyric video,
Right.
because of Yes, why do most interesting parts of the video happen in a small ring? Whose idea was that?
Mine. Well, the whole lyric video was my idea. I
Yeah.
went to Christian, who again is our main editor. I went to him and I said I wanted to do something kind of simple because the big thing about the movie is that the rings act as portals, which people don't realize is actually innate to the franchise. People were complaining.
For real, yeah.
But so I said because I know he used Blender 3D. It's
Blender.
a ring. It's got to be like simple.
Yeah.
So I gave him reference. Like I made a mock-up. Like here's what I'm thinking. We have like moving checkers, and he even said so like kings and queens. I mean, yeah, like
Basically
the
like
Kings
Kings and
video,
Queens, yeah.
But have the ring looping, and inside we'll put the Green Hill Zone that's in the trailer. Because I was able to get like a 4K screenshot without
People thinking music's defined by the game itself. Kings
But
and Queens was its entire example.
Exactly,
Which is
but,
not game related.
So yeah, the whole lyric. I can take credit for the lyric video's conception, but not the execution.
Right.
That's all Christian.
Yeah.
Because he knew. Because I would have ideas. And he'd say, we can't do that. Like I wanted to have during the solo. Where it was going to be, when it was a synth, it was going to be like pixel.
Yeah.
And when it was going to be jewels, it was going to be like lightning, and the rings were going to turn red as like the red rings in the game. But when we tried that, apparently Christian came back saying, it can't be done in the allocated amount of time we have.
Yeah.
So we had to throw that out. So there are things that
we had ideas that couldn't be done. But well,
at least in the time given. I'm sure if we had more time, maybe, but
maybe Sonic pushed the release back more.
If we had the Sonic speed where everything was
I'd
slowed
imagine
down.
people be more mad about that than the song. So, Victor McKnight. So
McKnight.
when's the next Sonic song?
Keep listening to the current Sonic song, and maybe
We'll definitely see about it.
And who knows? Go to the theater, see Sonic the Hedgehog in theaters.
Please
help a sequel to get made. Maybe we'll do a
There's
sequel
definitely a sequel getting made for sure.
Maybe a sequel song.
And even then, Sonic as a whole, I love the franchise. So
But
I feel as
that
though
is the other thing, is that 2020, at least according to Sega, is Sonic's year.
It
they're
is,
apparently announcing a lot of stuff. So who knows? There might even be a new game.
it's going to be a big year.
Something that isn't a racing game.
Let's see. Did you consider making a remix/cover of one of the more vocal Sonic songs, like Live and Learn or His World? I don't do remixes.
He's done covers. He did.
I've done covers.
Go the Distance.
Yeah, I mean, I've done covers before, but the reason why is because they're so off chance that it would never happen in a blue moon. I don't do remixes. I just don't like touching other people's work.
I think you could cover Live and Learn pretty well.
I could cover them, but I don't like covering material. I like to stand on my own 2 feet with my original music, and they can have theirs.
That doesn't necessarily mean you can't cover a remix. Can't Hold Me Back.
Did you listen to any of the songs from the games for inspiration? As we said, Crush 40.
Yeah, unless you did some independent thinking of listening to some of the game soundtracks. Crush 40 was the main driving force for that song.
Well, you released the original song, not the redesigned song, if you know what I mean, at the shitpost. No.
What you heard is all that is.
I mean, I don't know. Eventually down the line, I might compile every shitpost that I made
into one shitpost video.
One shitpost video. Yeah, we'll see what happens
funny.
after that. I understand that it sounds too abstract, but still is very interesting how you managed to come to such a balance of techno elements of rock.
I think what they're trying to say is that you did a good job balancing synth and heavy rock.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think
that might be. Good question, honestly.
Generally, really good questions, guys. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, the Sonic song Can't Hold Me Back is out now. Hopefully any of this has helped educate on how we made the song, what we thought about with the song, and our love for Sonic as a whole.
Absolutely.
And definitely go see I have to reiterate this time and time again, go see the Sonic movie if you haven't yet.
Also, we're not sponsored. This is purely our own recommendation.
Lord, if we were.
I would love to be sponsored by the Sonic movie.
Lord, if we were.
Yeah.
But otherwise, this has been Chris.
I'm Chris. Go check out my channel.
Aficionados Chris?
Yeah, link will be in the description, hopefully, if he remembers.
I'm DAGames. My channel is in the...
Well, you're already here.
Yeah, subscribe in the end screen annotation or whatever I do. Anyway, yeah, thanks for the questions, and look out for more music real soon, guys. Peace out!
Hope you enjoyed the video, and please have a wonderful day.
That was supposed to be the end.
This is my end.